Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be teaching you how to paint this vibrant sunset scene, so let's get started. So to start, we're just going to start with a blank canvas, and I'm going to go in with some watered down burnt sienna. Now since this is acrylic paint, you can go in with a paint thinner or use water to thin your paint down, just because you don't really need a thick layer. We're just trying to cover the canvas with that color, so that's what you're going to see me do here. And we're just trying to cover the canvas with this color, so you can be really loose with this. You can do it as fast or as slow as you want, but really this step isn't that important. Again, we're just trying to cover the canvas with this color. So now that the canvas is fully covered, I'm going to start going in with a less watered down version of the paint I was already using. You can also add a bit of blue to your burnt sienna to kind of create a more cool tone, darker color that helps you see it against the burnt sienna that you already used a bit better. But again, here I'm just using a thicker version of the paint to kind of block in the scenery I'm trying to create. So now it's time to start blocking in our sky colors. So to start, I'm using this light blue color I created by mixing titanium white and ultramarine blue. So you'll see me start blocking that in basically on a better half of the canvas. So before I actually cover the better half of the canvas with the blue, I'm actually going to start going in with some titanium white and some yellow. So this will kind of be the lower half of the canvas, kind of on top of the hills that we sketched in earlier. Again, you're just working these colors kind of towards one another, and then when they meet in the middle, you're just going to start blending them. You can use a new brush for this, but I just keep the one that I've been using for the blue. You just have to be really careful that you don't use too much yellow in your bottom mixture, just because then your sky will turn green. Here, I'm just gonna use some of that blue again, just to kind of go over the hills we created. These won't end up being this blue color anyways, they're gonna be a green, so this part doesn't really matter. You're just kind of trying to get that color down so that your sky doesn't end up covering those hills that you originally sketched out. So once I'm done that, I'm going to start going in with a brighter version of the yellow we had used for the sky. I'm just going to kind of start blocking in where I want to see these more vibrant colors, and soon you're going to see me go in with orange and purples and a lot of variations of those colors just to kind of build up the vibrancy of the sky. So I feel like when it comes to painting very colorful things like this, people can get easily intimidated, just because, you know, you have this beautiful blue in the background and then you're putting these crazy colors all over it. But really, we're working with acrylic here, so if you need to cover it up again, you can just mix more of that blue color up and start over. Here you'll see me just starting to kind of sketch in where I want my clouds to appear. Even down below towards our hills, there will be clouds there. Just with the more warm tone colors, since that's what the sun will be hitting. And then I'm going to start going over top with purples and blues just to kind of add some more depth to the painting. Like I said earlier, you're going to see me go in with a lot of variations of the same color. purples, oranges, and reds, and kind of mixing those with one another to make the painting more cohesive. Now to get these kind of fluffier clouds in the background, I'm actually going in with a really dry brush and just using a tiny bit of that color on my brush and really kind of aggressively scrubbing it onto the canvas to make those clouds appear more translucent and kind of further away. So now I'm really going in with vibrant oranges and yellows. These colors will appear closer to the sun. The sun makes colors more vibrant. So that's kind of the guideline I'm using in this painting. You know, you wouldn't want the most vibrant colors to be way up in your sky. It just wouldn't look right. That being said, I'm not here to tell you what's right or wrong. You can put your colors wherever you want them. That might make your style more unique. But I'm just kind of giving you a guideline of how I paint my sunsets. Another thing that I find makes my sunset skies really pop is not being afraid to use super dark colors. I find people usually think of sunsets as really bright and colorful, but don't be afraid to get in there with some deep purples and blues as they complement the yellows and oranges and pinks really well. So now I'm starting to go in and really just kind of finish up those highlights that are appearing on the bottoms of my clouds towards the sun. You can see me here using that dry brush once again to kind of blend out that paint and make it have like a more soft and fluffy appearance since we are painting clouds. Here I'm just going in with more vibrant purples kind of towards the sun just to kind of brighten things up and make it complement one another. I find that another key thing to keep in mind when you're painting these skies is that you're not going to get all the colors you want to see in one layer. It takes multiple layers and a lot of drying and repainting and blending to get the look you're trying to get. Now, just before I move on to the hills, I'm going to add a sun here. Basically, I'm just going with straight white to kind of give the appearance that that's where the sun is. It's just about to set over those hills. And then I'm going to start blending this yellow color kind of onto our blue hills that we painted earlier. Since the sun is going to reflect a lot of that color onto these hills since they're so far away. And I'm just going to kind of start here with an underpainting. I'm going to go in with a kind of reddish purple color. I'm just trying to really reflect that sky color onto our hills. But again, I am going to be going in with some green shortly since there are trees covering these hills. But you'll see me kind of use those sky tones to begin painting in these hills to kind of give them that warm undertone that I'm trying to achieve. So here's where I start really going in with that green color I was talking about earlier. Now the green that you use kind of farther towards the sun, you have to keep in mind you want to keep it kind of soft and warm since these hills are supposed to be in the distance. Now if you wanted them to be closer, I would definitely use more of a rich tone green, maybe use more blue in it, and definitely make the colors more vibrant since the closer you are, the more color you see. Now you can kind of see me start to do that here where I'm kind of working in a more rich green by using more yellow and blue and less of that kind of sky color that has a bit of white and other colors mixed into it. Now I'm really just working in that deep green into my canvas. You can kind of see some of that burnt sienna peeking through our hills. Now, it's kind of personal preference whether you like to see that undertone on your canvas or not. You'll see a bit of it in this painting, but I definitely do kind of pick and choose where I want that color to kind of show. In the sky, I didn't choose to have any, but honestly, you could have got away with it since it is such a warm color and would probably blend in with our sky pretty well. So I'm just blocking in the last bit of foreground, but that pretty much completes our painting for today. I hope this was helpful for some of you out there. Feel free to leave a comment down below what you'd like to see me paint next, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.